11th, 6 p.m. Meeting call to order. Madam Clerk, may I have roll call, please?
Yes. Marion.
Present.
Vice Mayor Cano.
Present.
Councilmember Gonzalez.
Present.
Councilmember Perez.
Here.
Councilmember Gutierrez.
Here.
We have quorum.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Leading this in invocation today is Pastor Tony Blanco.
Hi, good afternoon. Let's bow our heads so we can pray this afternoon, this evening. Heavenly Father, we come before you, Lord, just to thank you for all the blessings, Lord, you have bestowed upon us. I ask you, Lord, to continue to give the council, the mayor, Lord, wisdom, knowledge, so that they may continue to move this city forward. I ask you, Lord, to keep this community safe, keep our children safe, and just bless the city, Lord, and help us and continue, Father God, to do good things for the community. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Can everybody please stand for our Pledge of Allegiance? Leading us today in the Pledge of Allegiance will be the Lifehouse Delano World Rangers.
Rangers, attention!
Thank you, Tony, Pastor Blanco, and then also the Royal Rangers. Thank you very much. Moving on, do we have approved agenda as to form? Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion by Vice Mayor Cano, second by Councilmember Perez. Madam Clerk, may I have roll call, please?
Marion.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Cano.
Aye.
Councilmember Gonzalez.
Aye.
Councilmember Perez.
Aye.
Councilmember Gutierrez.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. And let me introduce our interpreter, Ms. Gabby Bravo. Is she here? Go ahead and make yourself to the platform, please. Thank you.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and City Council. My name is Gabriela Bravo and I'm going to be today's interpreter. Muy buenas tardes, Honorable Alcalde y Consejo de la Ciudad. Mi nombre es Gabriela Bravo y el día de hoy seré la intérprete de esta junta. Si alguien de los que estamos aquí presente necesita un audiocular, los tenemos en la parte derecha de este salón. Gracias.
Thank you, Gabby. Now to our to mine and Chief's favorite part of the meeting is our featured pet of the week. So, yeah, I think so.
Mayor, Honorable City Council, today our pet of the week, we have Hazel. Hazel is a dachshund mix. She is very shy right now, but she's a lovable dog and loves sitting in your lap and watching TV. All fees will be paid today, no cost to anyone in the crowd who would like to adopt her. Do we have any takers who would love to? Oh, there's a little girl in the back. I saw her.
I think Liz is interested too.
Yeah.
I see her eyes.
She's a sweetie. Well, she'll be available the rest of the night. Just give us a call and we'll.
Hold on, we have a packed house.
Free
Anybody
donuts.
interested?
Free donuts. Whoever adopts.
You can have coffee with.
free donut.
You can have coffee
Wow.
with the chief.
Yeah. I'll buy the coffee.
I'll buy the donuts.
Look at, she hasn't even barked.
Whoever adopts them gets an hour with the mayor. To the highest bidder.
Dinner at the mayor's house. Going once? Okay.
Don't worry, I think we'll have some takers. I hope.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. Moving on to presentations, introductions, and awards. Our first item is promotional ceremony. Chief. No, it's going to be quick.
Honorable Mayor, City Council, today it is my pleasure to promote a corporal from within our department. We recently had a promotional test. We had two applicants that passed the muster, so to say. Corporals in our agency are very important for investigative purposes. They are lead investigators, used as supervisors in many different aspects, training officers, and along with many other duties. So today I would like to present Officer Ubaldo Weiss. A little about Officer Weiss. We started in the jail many, many years ago when we were just fuzzy-faced kids, if you believe that. So Officer Weiss started his law enforcement career June 1998, Kern County Sheriff's Office. While employed with the Kern County Sheriff's Office, he worked several assignments such as detentions, the McFarland Substation, Gang Suppression Unit, K-9 Unit, and as a field training officer. Officer Weiss served the Kern County community for over 27 years. In March of 2024, Officer Weiss was hired with the McFarland Police Department as a K-9 handler. Officer Weiss and his partner Khan, many of you might have met, completed basic patrol school and narcotics school. It's the only one of only two dogs in our county that are trained to sniff and detect fentanyl. Officer Weiss has served the community of McFarland for the past year, and it's my honor to present him today as corporal. His wife, Debbie, is here to pin his badge on.
Corporal Weiss. Good. Corporal, yes. The podium is yours. Yeah. It's been 25 years. We worked together. You're an outstanding individual. Fellow officers respect you. You always keep a keen attitude. It's a pleasure and it's an honor for you to be serving McFarland and also with the K-9 unit, but it's a long time coming, and I just want to recognize you for your accomplishments. So, Council, anybody else have any comments for our Corporal Weiss? We'll start with Ms. Perez.
Just congratulations on your promotion, and we are so happy to have you here working with Khan.
Yes.
Congratulations again.
Thank you. Ms. Gonzalez?
Well, congratulations on your promotion. Your hard work and dedication truly paid off. The promotion acknowledges your contributions and leadership, and I'm confident that you will continue to inspire and lead your new role. Wishing you continued success as you take the new responsibilities. Congratulations.
Thank you. Mr. Gutierrez?
Congratulations. I'm just happy to have you back in McFarland. I guess you were here before, but congratulations. Keep up the good work.
Thank you. Vice Mayor?
Congratulations.
Thank you. Short and sweet. Weiss? Go ahead.
First off, thank you for this opportunity and this acknowledgement. Yeah, I've worked hard throughout the years of my career. I'll continue to help serve this community and make it the best that it can be. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, you forgot saying I was your best partner, but I'll take it.
We'll talk later.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right, thank you. Oh, let's do a quick picture.
In the middle. Ponte la orilla.
One more. Maybe two. Thank you. We have them over there already, Major. Is there okay if I go back to the It's going to be quick and easy. I know that my boss assembly woman is essential, making sure the safety and education for the residents that we serve in District 35th, and for you to work all these years and It says a lot about your character and the person that you are and the person that you're going to be bringing to the city of the land, the McFarland. I know. But for me,
It's over.
I, you know, but when you work for District 35, it's not only about McFarland, it's about the sister cities, because when you have an issue in McFarland, I know that the chief is going to jump and send some of you guys to help in the transition to make sure that everybody's safe in our District 35. So on behalf of my boss, Assemblywoman Dr. Banks, congratulations from officer to a corporate to educate those that coming behind you with the legacy that you bring. Congratulations again.
I'm too short, girl. They probably just see the top of my head.
You just need rails. Liability.
Liability.
I trust you guys. Liability. You can
We'll get those walkers. You can just sit right on it.
You can stand on the chair. Oh my goodness, look at the little baby.
Be sorry, but not be. Wait, can we have it like in the middle, McFarland? Please? Just a few steps. But then, you know. See.
All right.
Over here. Thank you.
1, 2, 3.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you again. We'll let them exit. I don't think they want to hear the city business, but no problem. Have a good one. Don't forget to shop at McFarland.
I'm getting one pretty soon.
Fayette. Okay, moving on to our next item is a proclamation recognizing National Boys and Girls Week, June 23rd, 27th of 2025. Whereas the young people of McFarland, California are tomorrow's leaders, and whereas many young people need professional youth services to help them achieve their full potential, and whereas there are 3 boys and girls clubs in McFarland, California that serve more than 440 people annually, and whereas boys and girls clubs do whatever it takes to ensure every young person has the skills needed to graduate high school and be well prepared for life and work. The club offers tested, proven, and nationally recognized programs of 5 core areas: character and leadership, education and career development, health and life skills, the arts and sports and fitness and recreation. And whereas the Boys and Girls Club of Kern County will celebrate the profound power of Boys and Girls Clubs to build great future for kids during National Boys Girls Club Week, with some 5,000 clubs and more than 4 million children and teens served nationwide. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that I, Saul Layon, Mayor of the City of McFarland, on behalf of the McFarland City Council, do hereby June 23rd to 27th, 2025, as National Boys and Girls Club Week in the City of McFarland, and commend the organization for providing comprehensive, effective services to the young people in our community. And we have Fanny Gama here to speak on it. And where is she? Here.
Hello. Hi, everybody. My name is Fanny Gamma. I'm an area program director with Boys and Girls Clubs of Kern County. Been with the club for going on 10 years. So very big. Been here in McFarland for 3+ years. We started with 1 elementary, and now we're at 3, and we are even at the junior high doing talent showcase and performing arts 2-3 days out of the week. So far, we've been at all 4 school sites, and it's amazing, and we're just growing. Right now, for the whole month of June, we actually have anywhere from 60 to 80 kids attending our Boys and Girls Club in Bakersfield. So we bus them here from Kern from Kern Avenue in the morning at 7:45, and then we take them to the Boys and Girls Club in Bakersfield, and then at 3:30 we bus them back over here to McFarland. So if your kids are in the after-school program and you guys did sign them up, they are attending our Boys and Girls Club in Bakersfield. So I did just leave them earlier, but other than that, they're having a blast. They're having amazing time, and that is our goal, to always have a safe place for our students.
Awesome, thank you. Council, starting with Ms. Perez, do you have any comments?
I think you guys are doing a great job, especially now in the summer where kids need to be entertained with something, because we don't have much here in McFarland. We're hoping to gather some more resources for our kids, but I think that you guys are doing a fantastic job with our students, especially after school. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Perez. Ms. Councilmember Gonzalez?
Just the same sentiment there. You guys are doing a good job, and I'm glad that it's a program that's offered here in McFarland for these kids, something for them to look forward to, and thank you for that.
Thank you.
Mr. Gutierrez?
Well, thank you. I have had two of my kids be part of the Boys and Girls Club, and they really like it. They actually don't want to come home early, so I know
Yay! That's our goal. I love when I'm walking by and they're like, "Can we stay another 10 minutes?" And I'm like, "No, it's about to be 6. You gotta go." But I would love it. Yes.
Thank
So
you.
thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Vice Mayor?
It's amazing to have you guys in our community
Thank
with our kids. Kids are our future.
Yes, they are.
It's always, it gives them an opportunity to get some of that activity out and going with other kids, socializing.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for your service.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And you step up and take a picture.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Our next item is, we'd like to recognize, obviously, I want to say the Royal Rangers. I don't want to say it. We got a little bit of everything in there, so it's Kern County. But we as a council would like to take a moment to recognize and sincerely thank these remarkable group of young gentlemen who went above and beyond in supporting our first annual Great Festival. Their hard work, dedication, and positive attitude played a vital role in our success of our event. From organizing, setting up, to maintaining the grounds and providing support throughout the festivals, this young group really performed at a high level, and they did it with nothing thinking they were going to get something in return. They were just out there. It was hot, and there was a lot of them, but they were getting water to people out there and providing a lot of good services. Their willingness to serve and lead and support reflects not only a strong character, but also the values instilled in them through their involvement with the Royal Rangers. I want to extend a special thank you to their leader, Pastor Gabe Diaz, Henry Esparza, Armando Sanchez, and Eliseo Garza. And last but not least, our finance manager, Jonathan, where you at? He's the one that actually brought them and said, "Hey, you guys want to utilize our individuals at the church?" I said, "Yeah, absolutely. Don't get me wrong. Nothing wrong with free laborers. And, volunteer. How about that? Volunteer." Their efforts in mentoring these young men are evident on the way they carry themselves, how they serve their community with pride and purpose. As you can tell, how they took pride in the Pledge of Allegiance and obviously loving this country for what it is. We are truly grateful for this opportunity to make alongside such an outstanding group and look forward to continuing the partnership in the future. Your support helped create a welcoming and joyful event for everyone in attendance, and we are better as a community because of your contribution. Thank you again for your leadership, teamwork, and commitment, and making a difference. And our pastor, Tony Blanco, was graciously bringing some rewards for everyone that helped out. So, Eliseo Garza, if you want to come up and recognize the individuals, we got some certificates for them.
Real quick, Royal Rangers. What is Royal Rangers? It's just I love the Boys and Girls Club. That's awesome. We're not the girls. We're the boys club. It's boys. Royal Rangers, and we're a boys team. And our main goal is to raise boys. First is to love God, of course, to fear God. But in doing that, we're trying to raise them in a way that they're going to give out to the community. Learn to become men who are going to be useful to the community. Okay, and that's what we're instilling in them. We have a code that we live by. Royal Ranger code, and every boy is learning it. They're learning what everything means. I've been a Ranger all my life. So if you ask me, I can tell you every code. It's alert, clean, honest, courageous, loyal, courteous, obedient, spiritual. Those are the 8 blue points that you see in our flag, which is right here. And that's the code that we live by. And each one of those words means something. So as we go, we're not only teaching boys the Word of God, we're also trying to teach them how to become a man, okay, a godly, fearing man that is going to raise a family and know what a boy does and what a man does, okay? And that's being alert, physically, spiritually, and mentally alert. Clean in mind, body, and speech. And I can continue going on with every one of those codes, okay? And that's what we're teaching them. And thank you for giving us the opportunity. It's not only the man that Maritalu mentioned, but we have about 12 men that work with these boys at the church, quite a few of us. And there's right now, any given Wednesday, between 30 and 45 boys, and we're hoping that it continues growing. Again, right now, they're doing gun safety, and then here in the future, we'll be doing some camping and fishing and doing quite a few other things. But we just want to thank you for giving us the opportunity, because for them to do this, they earn their badges by doing these things. So it's a great opportunity, and we want to thank you for that.
So if you want to announce them, and then just have them go this way.
Okay. Hey, Rangers, if you're here, because I know we couldn't bring everyone today. But anyways, if you're here, I know Christian Macias is not here, but if I call your name, please come up and I'll give you this, okay? Christian Macias. We have Max Salazar. Yeah, you bet. Okay, buddy. Let me see here. We got Anthony Kreger. Anthony. Ignacio Barajas. Bobby Price. Anthony Salazar. I'll give it to you right now. We'll give it to you after. Micaiah Mendoza. We're good. Mason Navarrete. Jeremiah Perez. Blake Juan. I don't think he's here. Juan Fernandez. And hopefully this is the one right here. Julian Fernandez. Okay. Well, I'll get you one, okay? That's probably my fault. That's the winning voice, okay? We'll get you one with the ring. Okay.
I just want to tell you, that's just not Roll Rangers from Delano. We have one right here from McFarland, Oscar. So he really couldn't play. He really couldn't play basketball, but he'll tell you he can. So let's come up and take a picture. Oh, and Pastor Blanco has some treats for them. Oh, awesome.
Some of these kids are taller than some.
And we do apologize for the rough departure, but we meet with the boys every Wednesday, so we'll have about 30 boys at the church waiting for us. So whenever you...
There's a box for each of them.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone.
Hey, Rick, did I leave my towel over there? Oh, thank you. Sí, me quité. Sí. Le bajé yo, pero. All right, thank you so much. Moving on to item number 4, crowning of the city of McFarland's first Miss McFarland Queen. We have our Community Development Director, Megan Snyder.
Yes, good evening, Honorable Mayor and Council and community members. This is a really exciting evening for us. We saw this opportunity. We really appreciate the Kern County pageant representatives coming out to the Great Festival. We got to have a brief introduction, and they represented their communities very well. And we saw a definite need for McFarland to be represented. We are doing a lot of things to change and bring more things to McFarland and put McFarland on the map for even more of the greatness that we have here. It's so much untapped talent and so much community heart, and I think that's something that a lot of people are unaware of, and we want to bring every opportunity to bring that platform forward and find an individual that can represent as a Miss McFarland Queen to not only be a beautiful face, but also a beautiful heart and good representation of character and community service. And we found that in our candidate that we have selected. And if you'll join us. Our first Miss McFarland is Ivana Simmental. And just a brief overview. She's 17. She has put together her application, and she talked a lot about character, about community service, and the things that she's doing to bring positive change to McFarland. And we're really excited for her to represent our community well. And without further ado, we have the Kern County pageant to present our first Miss McFarland.
Picture.
You guys want the picture?
What was it?
Okay. Come on. Yeah. Oh, they're crying.
One more, please. Thank you.
Don't worry, young lady. The podium is yours.
Hello?
Yes.
So I just talking to you?
Yes.
Okay. I'm Ivana Cimental. They didn't really tell me what to say, but I
Just
guess.
like if you're talking to your friends, it's okay. Like, hey,
So-
what's going on? You know?
So I'm glad to be chosen to represent our city of McFarland.
What are your achievements and stuff?
So my achievements are honor roll student. I also have a club named Teens for Change, which I like to use to help our community. Sometimes we partner up with our mayor, Saul Ayon, and we try to do community events. So I really just enjoy doing that and spending my time around our community. So I'm very thankful for this opportunity.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Round of applause. We'll start with Ms. Gonzalez. Any questions, comments?
No questions. Just congratulations, and may this reign be filled with success and joy. Congratulations.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Mr. Gutierrez?
Well, congratulations. I've had the honor to be her coach the last 3 years, soccer. She's one of my soccer players, and congratulations. I'm happy to see you here.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gutierrez. Ms. Perez?
Congratulations. Do you remember Ms. Perez?
Yes.
Ah, awesome. So I would like to take some credit for that. No, I'm just kidding. But just know that from now on, you will be in the public's eye, and you will need to, with your public speaking, it's going to come on an instant. I still can't get it myself, but congratulations, and I'm very proud of you, and thank you for representing our city.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Perez. Vice Mayor?
Congratulations. It's first Mrs. McFarland. I don't think we've had one. So, congratulations on that. Amazing. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
All right. Nothing against the other cities, but we expect number one for the pageant. So no pressure. McFarland, you always think of McFarland, it's always first. But anyways, congratulations. Thanks for the hard work. I see what you do at the school. I still don't. Teens for Change. I'm not going to try to change that name, but it's a good catch. But we're changing a lot of things in the community. But thanks for addressing that. But once again, congratulations to you and your family. Good job, and good job on your presentation as far as being selected. But continue the progress. So awesome. Can we get one? That's perfect. As long as you say McFarland, okay? Where's our police at?
But I work so closely, well, not closely. I was working for Assembly Woman Dr. Jasmine Baines in the District 35. I know that the great work that the current pageant does, not only in Bakersfield, but in the whole Kern County. So you got a new one in Lamont, you enter into Shafter, now McFarland, USA. And so you're going to be everywhere, so keep yourself, make sure that you don't change for nobody, that you continue to be you. You're an amazing person. I saw you at some of the events at the park over there, and you did amazing. So congratulations, and being the first McFarland queen, and not the last, because the mayor said that you had to work hard and make sure that you make McFarland proud, not only McFarland, but District 35. Congratulations. Felicidades. Que Dios te bendiga. Y ahorita nos sacamos una foto. Gracias.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Wait, who's missing? Can she take a picture of you behaving? See?
Go ahead. Go ahead, Ms. Perez.
I just wanted to add that Ivana is one of those students that you just don't forget, and she was in my 4th grade class, so that's pretty far back. And I just wanted to say that always an exceptional student, doing her work all the time, never asked questions. She kind of ran the classroom at times. She would she would get onto the students if they weren't following directions. So thank you for that, Ivana, and congratulations again.
Thank you. I'm sure you don't want to stay for city business, but that's okay. No, it's okay. Okay, moving on to departmental reports. We have none. Moving on to the consent. Oh, no.
Oh,
Sorry.
we have one more
Moving on
item.
to number 5, presentation of findings of needs assessment survey conducted by students at CSUB School and Business and Public Policy. We have Ms. Melissa presenting today.
Honorable Mayor and council members, I promise my presentation will not be pictures. I have a presentation today regarding our city's needs assessment. I'm presenting it with unfortunately, we couldn't have any of our CSUB cohorts from the School of Business and Public Administration. Next slide, please. So this is an introduction to the needs assessment itself. The city invited a cohort of students from CSUB to conduct a needs assessment of the community. It was held during our inaugural Grape Festival, and the students met with staff to create sort of a questionnaire that would be relevant to our community's needs. Questions that we kind of came up with and that they focused on were what concerns does the community have, whether or not the city of McFarland was offering programs to address those concerns, what challenges both the program and cities face, and what other funding should be allocated in different areas. Next slide, please. So we focused on two key metrics, existing programs and challenges faced by our community. The first metric of existing programs is to give context for the base level of what items are being addressed in the community. They touch on, in the needs assessment itself, capital improvement programs running from fiscal year 2024 to 2029, and that focuses on investments in infrastructure and community development projects. They also noted that they understood that the water quality issues were being addressed, as well as infrastructure improvement as a highlight. And moving on to the second key metric, the challenges that were faced by our community, we wanted to properly identify these challenges. We did give them some notes in terms of public safety, transit needs, and the imbalance of services from the east and west dividing the community by the 99. So those were some of the highlights. Next slide, please. Now, the survey itself that was collected at the Grape Festival collected about 61 voluntary surveys. This was kind of the raffle that we had given here, and we had a winner. But when we were looking at the demographic analysis of what the students gave back to us, it is kind of in line with what the citizens of McFarland are. We have the language, age, and Hispanic or non-Hispanic, and gender demographic categories that seem to fall in line with what the city reflects. So we had English 72%, Spanish speaking 28%, under the age of 35 we have 52%, and these are all the respondents and the demographics that, analysis that they provided. Next slide, please. So the community asks. This is kind of an overview of the results of the survey. We identified the biggest areas that the public is concerned with in these top three categories. So we have social and public services, community facilities, and infrastructure and economic development. They also provided insight to the following items, which are transit services and public safety. One of the comments they had on transit services is that a quarter of respondents of the survey pool have used our transit services, but they do wish for expansion of services. And in terms of the public safety aspect, we have a kind of a good and a bad. The quarter of respondents say that they have experienced or witnessed possible dangerous situations in regards to one or both of the overpasses in McFarland. Which is something that we wanted to highlight due to the fact that we are possibly looking for funding for, future resolutions regarding that. On the brighter side, we had 83% of respondents agree with the statement, "I feel safe in McFarland." So that I would like to highlight because I feel like that's a good win. So next slide, please. In conclusion, we wanted to highlight the main areas of concern. The top three, again, areas identified by the public were social and public services. Some of the subcategories that they had spoken on and they had provided in the survey itself were they would like to see more job creation and retention, job readiness programs, grants and or loans to small businesses, and counseling or training to small businesses. In terms of community facilities, there was a high amount of people that were interested in community centers, child care centers, healthcare facilities, and park and recreational facilities. There were a couple of comments when I had passed by the tent about possibly a public pool or something of that nature, other cooling centers. And then the third item is our infrastructure and economic development. So those two both tied for third. In terms of infrastructure, obviously there's a lot of respondents that say that the street and road improvements were a big highlight that they wanted to focus on. Another concern is the water and sewage improvement, as well as health services and tree planting and urban greenery. For the economic development portion, they noted that workforce stability and readiness was a concern, as well as wanting services for financial advisory support for small businesses, and also physical revitalization of commercial corridors. So there's an indication in the data as well that showed that there was a lack of community engagement. So I'd like to take this moment to encourage the public to continue to stay involved in events and opportunities like this, because we do take this into consideration when we look at funding opportunities, and a lot of this data is used in these grant opportunities as well. So next slide, please. This concludes the presentation of the city's need assessment. I would like to thank again the CSUB College of Business and Public Administration cohort that conducted the survey and the needs assessment. Our intention in the future is to use this information to focus our priorities and things like our economic development plan, which our Economic Development Manager, Paul Saldana, will be presenting next month. And I am open to any questions for council.
Council, do we have any questions, concerns for starting Ms. Gonzalez?
No, just the fact that I'm glad that these individuals took the time to come over here and do the survey, and the fact that the whole report itself is very good and informative, and too bad that they're not here for us to congratulate them, but they did a good job. Thank you.
I will say the cohort was 4 people. 2 of them was a married couple, and they just had a baby. So they're in the hospital right now.
Okay.
Mr. Gutierrez?
Well, thank you for the information. It's a lot of vital information for us to have, and hopefully we could continue this partnership. Thank you.
Ms. Perez?
Likewise, thank you.
Vice Mayor Cano?
It's good to know what we need to focus on. It's important. And I agree with them. We need a pool.
Melissa, outstanding job with the presentation. It really illustrates what's needed here in the community, and it's important that our residents know that these surveys go a long way. The data is very important when you're applying for these grants, because if you don't have the data, they're going to say, well, what's needed? But it's important that the community gets involved, and it's important that we have those surveys. But good job on this presentation. Thank you so much. All right, moving on with the consent agenda. The consent agenda consists of items in the staff's opinion are routine and non-controversial. These items are approved in one motion unless a council member or member of the public requests to remove a particular item. Is there anybody from the public that would like to discuss or remove a particular item from the consent agenda? Seeing none. Council, is there anybody from the council? Okay, do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Gonzalez, second by Councilmember Perez. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Marion,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Cano,
Aye.
Councilmember Gonzalez,
Aye.
Councilmember Perez,
Aye.
Councilmember Gutierrez.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Now moving on to public hearings. On item number 18, I would like to motion to table this item until we have further study and comparisons regarding the related business licenses. So I would like to, if a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, there's a first and a second, but I would also give our staff a good amount of time. Maybe bring it back the first meeting of August, and therefore we have all the comparables and different things and the study being made. So if our departments need more time, just let us know. Okay. Therefore, the public is advised when to be here and when not to be here. Good. All right, Madam Clerk, I have a first and a second.
Mayor Yon,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Cano,
Aye.
Councilor Gonzalez, Councilor Perez,
Aye.
Councilor Gutierrez.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Moving on to 17, first reading by title only and approved resolution 2025-63, a resolution of the City Council of the City of McFarland approving conditional use permit 2025-001, home occupation 2025-001, and two variants to allow for a barber station at 310 4th Street. Ms. Brianna E.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council, City Council. Okay, so longtime resident and business owner Victor Orpeza submitted an application to the city with a proposal to construct a commercial barber station at their single-family residential property. Mr. Orpeza is proposing to construct a detached addition behind his home at 310 4th Street. The addition would include a single barber station that would operate strictly by appointment only. This proposal, however, is not consistent with the McFarland Municipal Code. Per Ordinance 17.153.040, barbershops are prohibited from receiving a home occupation permit. Per Ordinance 17.153.050 states that approved home occupations shall be confined completely within the dwelling. No external alterations or construction features can be made to accommodate the home occupation. Multiple local jurisdictions were also reached out to. City of Wasco, City of Shafter, and Delano all do not permit the use in a residential zone, and their home occupation ordinance also prohibit the use. Because the application proposal is not consistent with the McFarland Municipal Code, Mr. Oropesa is requesting consideration of a conditional use permit, home occupation, and two variances. If approved today, city staff is recommending that the conditions in Attachment D of the staff report be adopted as well. Some of these conditions include hours of operation, the restriction on a singular barber chair, signage, and the restriction on generating pedestrian or vehicular traffic in excess of that customarily associated with residential zones. I'm here if you have any additional questions, and our applicant, Victor Orpeza, is also present.
Okay, thank you, Brianna. What I'm going to do is before we we'll come back to the council. I'm going to open up for public testimony at 6:51. So if anybody from the public would like to discuss, have a comment regarding this item, the time is now.
All right, good afternoon. I'm resident Victor Oropesa. I live at 310 4th Street in McFarland, California. And my proposal was, I brought this to the city council so you guys could consider that there's businesses that are allowed to function from home. And I understand that right now the thing is more of it's going to be an appointment based, so it's not going to be traffic. It's not a full functioning barber shop where people are going to walk in. It's just for me to take care of my clientele. So like I've told my wife and I've talked to other people, like if I had the shop in the middle of town, I was closed the majority of the time. I couldn't attend people because I was on appointment based only. So why would I want to have my shop in the middle of town that's always closed to the public? So it hurts me not being able to help out the community because they come in and be like, I'm booked, I can't, I'm booked. So this was an opportunity for, if I could function from home, appointments only, on a rare day, it could be 4, it could be up to 10. So it's not consistent where I'm going to be like, oh yeah, he has 30 people going in every day. No. So what I'm looking for is just a consideration for being that in McFarland, the function rent right now is looking at like $3,000. A barber chair rent is $150 a week, give or take, less or more. So I'm figuring to rent a spot by myself, to be closed all the time, it's going to be very hard for me to function in the city again. And I'm trying to do it where if I can do it from home, Kern County allows you to have it from home. So those are the documentation that I took to the city. So all the guidelines that I have is for if I would live in the outskirts of McFarland in Kern County, I would be able to do this. So I'm trying to see if the city could implement that and put it into the city so we can offer opportunities to be able to work from home. Okay, so it's not like if I'm trying to rig this to make this happen. No, it's Kern County allows it. Because remember when McFarland used to be Kern County, there used to be shops in McFarland. Because I used to know 3 people that had them. And then I have a friend mine right now that his aunt used to have a shop in the back, and he still gets the report saying, hey, is this business still available? So in Kern County, it was allowed. So to me, it would be a great thing if you guys would consider it and if we could push this through and see if we can make it happen. So thank you guys for your time.
Okay. Is there anyone else from the public that has any comment, concern regarding this item?
Good afternoon. My name is Lenisa Oropeza. I'm Victor Oropeza's wife. And what I wanted to add to this, that obviously, where my husband used to work at, everything was so. Unfortunately, he had to, leave. And what I wanted to add is that not only when my husband had McFarland Barbershop or Big Vic's Barbershop, he was also an asset to the schools. He would volunteer. He would go to the Kern Avenue. He would go to the middle school, even to the high school to,
mentor.
Yes, to mentor. So, not having his business open, wherever, it's not only going to affect, us, but, in the schools as well. Why? Because he is a mentor to others. There's students that look up to him, and whenever he is available, he does give free haircuts to children that are in need. So that's one thing that, obviously, the school will lose as well. So, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone else? Okay, I'm going to close public comment at public testimony at 6:55. I'm going to start with council. I'm going to start with Councilmember Gutierrez. Have any questions, concerns regarding this item?
I have no questions.
Ms. Gonzalez.
No, I have none. Thank you.
Councilmember Perez.
No, none. Thank you.
Vice Mayor.
No questions, just a comment. I think as McFarland, we've always been innovators. We began something and we started. So I kind of like the idea of, there isn't very many rental spaces either in the city. So it's a great idea.
Brianna, on your staff report, you said you went to Wasco, Shafter, Delano. Did you look anywhere else at the city of Bakersfield, Arvin, or anyone anywhere north?
So the way I did the study was I did it with cities that were comparable in size and population size.
Brianna, is this going through? I mean, the process he went through as far as getting the variance, getting a permit through the state, through the county, is that all verified and good to go as far as like being certified, being able to cut from home?
So I looked into it, and so you could do it through the barber cosmetology school. So they'll come out and they'll do an inspection of the unit and everything. So as long as he has, if it gets approved today, that's one of the steps. He'll have to have the business license for the city of McFarland, and he'll also have to get the inspection with the cosmetology, the Board of Cosmetology.
Okay. Just for future reference and depend what direction this council goes with, if you don't mind me asking, what's the cost for somebody to go through all this process? Is it a pretty costly?
It is pretty costly. It is a non-refundable deposit. So when he came in, that was stated to him that it was a non-refundable deposit to go through this process. He paid for the variance, which was about, I want to say, a little over $1,000. Then the home occupation was about $216, and then the CUP, which was above $1,000 as well.
4,000? Okay. And this is as far as the mitigating the traffic and stuff like that by appointment, making sure that what I'm trying to do is make sure that we're setting the standard and the president as far as how many are allowed, because we also have brick and mortar, we have different individuals, right? And just to be fair with everyone, it goes back to taco trucks or anything. We're trying to be fair with everyone and have a good number because not only this is for barbershops, it could also be for hairstylists, manicures, different things. So when you looked, okay, just before we get our second reading approval, we want to make sure that other cities, there's a cap, and because it's a long process that you got to go through, they got to come and inspect and do everything, make sure that the traffic's not impacted, and I agree with Vice Mayor Cano, we're not delaying no Wasco or Shafter. From different administrations, they don't have a problem with commercial because of what has occurred here or what hasn't, right? So I think it's small business is the backbone of this country. So when there's not a lot of opportunity and the rent is very high, we're not giving opportunities for our residents to prosper. So I completely agree with your staff report and stuff like that, but I think it's just giving an opportunity to somebody that served the community for a long time and is actually doing it the right way. It's going and getting his permits, doing the licensing, making sure that he meets the regulations.
I do want to add a couple of things.
Sure.
So one of them is that we created the conditions to, if it were to get approved, it be a little bit more controlled.
Okay.
So it's not like he can go in and do something crazy and
Good.
produce all this traffic. So there is restrictions on noise, traffic, signage. So it's not going to be like,
Free for all.
Yeah, it's not going to be free for all. The other thing is that we didn't jump into this right away. We also did offer looking into other commercials. So we spoke with other developers and seen what different options he had. And like he said, the rent was a little high. So that's where we ended up coming in this direction with variances.
Okay, and with the conditions.
Yes, and the conditions.
And so very much if they're violating or breaking the rules, we could take the permits away.
Correct.
Okay. All right, do I have a motion to approve or not to approve the first reading by title?
A motion to approve that.
Second.
I have a first and a second, but go ahead.
Mayor Yon?
Hold on, let me just read it, and I'm going to amend something where I want staff to come back to come with a significant cap as how many are allowed within the city. Not just barbershops, but hairstyles, manicures and stuff, okay? So, go ahead.
Okay. Mayor Yon?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Cano?
Aye.
Councilmember Gonzalez?
Aye.
Councilmember Perez?
Aye.
Councilmember Gutierrez?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Moving on to item 19, approval resolution number 2025-69, compliance with the new legal obligations, public hearing on city staff vacancies and the city's recruitment and retention efforts to comply with the new legal obligations. Assembly Bill 2561, Government Code Section 3502.3. Ms. Serena McEwen.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and City Council. Effective January 1st, 2025, Assembly Bill 2561, Government Code 3502.3, requires that all public agencies require to hold a public hearing at least once per fiscal year to discuss employee vacancies and recruitment and retention efforts. The law also requires notification of labor organizations and, if requested, the disclosure of additional data when vacancies exceed 20% in any bargaining unit. As of January 1st, the City of McFarland has 7 vacant positions out of 77 full-time equivalent positions. This is a representation of at least a 9% vacancy rate. Our current vacancies include roles in administration, police, animal control, wastewater, and water operations. To address these vacancies, the city is actively recruiting and implementing initiatives such as streamlining hiring processes, updating job descriptions, and enhancing employee development and recognition programs. Staff recommends that the City Council adopt administrative procedures to ensure compliance with AB 2561, including setting timelines for annual hearings, notifying labor groups, and standardizing reporting methods. There is no financial impact associated with this recommendation, and I'm open to any questions.
Thank you. I'm going to open up to the public for public comment or testimony at 7:03. Do we have anyone? Seeing none, closing public testimony, bringing it back to the council. Does anybody from the council want to discuss this matter?
No.
Okay. Do I have a motion to approve resolution number 2025-69? Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Vice Mayor Cano, second by Councilmember Gutierrez. Madam Clerk, may I have roll call, please?
Mayor Yon?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Cano?
Aye.
Councilmember Gonzalez?
Aye.
Councilmember Perez?
Aye.
Councilmember Gutierrez.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Now moving on to administrative agenda, item 20, approval resolution number 2025-66, a resolution of the City Council of the City of McFarland approving the additional of one corporal position to the police department staffing allocation for the promotional purposes. Ms. McEwen.
Good evening. This report requests City Council approval of resolution number 2025-66 to add one corporal position to the police department's staffing allocation. The addition is intended to support internal promotions, enhance supervisory coverage, and align with succession planning efforts. The change does not increase overall staffing, but instead reclassifies an existing position to allow for leadership development within the department. The estimated biweekly salary for this position ranges from $2,502.16 to $3,202.94, and an annual range of $65,056.11 to $83,276.56. Funding is available within the existing police department budget, and staff recommends adopting this resolution, and I'm open to any questions.
Thank you. I'm going to open it up to the public if they have any questions, concerns regarding this position. Seeing none, I'm going to bring it back to the council. We'll start with Ms. Gonzalez. Councilmember Gonzalez, please.
I have no questions.
Councilmember Gutierrez.
No questions.
Councilmember Perez.
None, thank you.
Vice Mayor Gano.
No questions.
I have no questions. I just have some comments regarding, so the public's aware. We just promoted a corporal, and it's very important that here in the city of McFarland, correct me, Chief, I can't always get the right number. It's 22 to 26 unsolved homicides that we've had here in a 12, 18-year period. And by allowing this position to come to the community, it would free up that person to work on these investigations instead of covering shifts, calling for calls. This is a great opportunity for our city to have some closure for the families that have had people victimized and killed that they've never had that closure. So I think it's the chief bring the individuals that gets promoted or should get promoted brings that intangibles to the city, and we have a lot of experience in the city now with a lot of networking and a lot of knowledge regarding some of these serious crimes. So anyways, I just wanted to add that, but with that, do we have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a first and second, Madam Clerk. Roll call, please.
Marion.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Gano.
Aye.
Councilmember Gonzalez. Councilmember Perez.
Aye.
Councilmember Gutierrez.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Moving on to item 21, approve a resolution 2025-95, resolution of the City Council of the City of McFarland approving the city annual operating budget for the fiscal year 2025-26 and 2025-30. Capital Improvement Program. Madam, Mr. Vito Montes.
Oh, just the PowerPoint. Sorry about that. Did you have the
Honorable Mayor and Council, good evening. I've got a short presentation before you before formally adopting the fiscal year 2025-26 budget. I promise this won't be a 2-hour presentation like the one you went through a few weeks ago. So we'll just recap some of the budget highlights. Nothing really changed from the last workshop that we had for the council and the public. It's just tightening up a few figures, so I'll go over some of those highlights now. Just an agenda for this overview. We'll go over the key budget principles when preparing this budget. We'll go over the general fund and enterprise fund financial condition overview, just a high-level highlight there. General fund and enterprise fund summaries, the capital projects and staffing, and then finally wrap it up with some questions if there are any. Some of the key budget principles, these were the pillars that we used as we were going through the budget process. Those are: 1, making sure that the budget is fiscally responsible and balanced, preserving essential services, and reflecting the council's priorities, which include stabilizing city finances, sustainable infrastructure, neighborly and safe community, and efficient and effective government. Just a brief overview of the general fund financial condition. The projected unassigned fund balance is projected at 14% at the end of next fiscal year. As mentioned previously, this is below the target of 35%. Some of the short-term solutions which have helped us and will continue to help us as the years move on is measures M and O revenues. These revenues, which were not in existence beyond 3 years ago, have been significant towards helping us balance our budget. However, this alone is not enough. Some of the long-term solutions that we're working towards is future commercial, residential, and industrial development, as well as continuous review of our organizational structure. As far as our enterprise funds, the major enterprise funds that the city operates include the sewer and the water funds. The sewer fund, both of these funds, let me back up, were once in a very strong position. However, we did have some emergencies over the last fiscal year that have taken us below the target of 35%. On the sewer side, we did have an emergency repair at Lagoon 1, which cost the city over $400,000. This was unexpected emergency repair, but thankfully the city sewer fund was in a solid position in order to get past this emergency situation. However, we're not in a position to overcome 2 emergency situations, so we're working towards getting back to that 35% fund balance target. And then on the water side, we, as the community and the council know, we did have the nitrate contamination issue at Browning Road Well, which we had to overcome. And we were able to, thankfully to those reserves, and also thanks to the advocacy of the council and staff to receive grant funding close to $1 million on to install and purchase that unit so that we're not paying that rental cost to essentially stop the bleeding on that water fund. So over the next few years, we are working towards getting back to that target of 35%. So some of the options to fund some of the long-term capital needs, which there are several out there, is a state revolving fund through the State Water Resources Control Board. We've been successful in a few grants through that funding. We're still pursuing other grant funding through that, but we've been successful thus far, and we're continuously advocating on behalf of the city to get additional funding. And then long-term financing. If for some reason the grant funding does not come through, the last resort is the long-term financing. So upcoming are some of the charts. As far as the general fund, just as mentioned, total revenues are budgeted at $6.8 million. Expenditures, which include our capital projects, budgeted at $10.7 million. Then transfers coming in at 2.4. We're close to $2.5 million. This includes our gas tax funds, our community facilities district funds, TDA, and so on. And our ending balance, which we project at the end of next fiscal year at $1.5 million, or 14% of our operating expenditures. For our major enterprise funds, we have our water and sewer fund. On the water side, next fiscal year, we project revenues at $10.6 million, mainly due to the grant revenues that we've secured thus far. Then our expenditures being at $10.8 million, transfers out of $246,000, leaving us with an ending unrestricted fund balance of $479,000, or on the water side, 19% of our operating expenditures. And on the sewer side, for the revenues, we're projecting $2.2 million coming in, expenditures of $2.2, transfers out of $288,000, leaving us with an unrestricted fund balance of $409,000, or 20% of our operating expenditures. Then a recap of our capital projects. Here's our program for the next 5 years. Our overall capital improvement program. It's a very aggressive one. Much of this is grant funded, thankfully, and others we're working towards obtaining the necessary funding to complete some of these projects. Up here are the carryover projects, many of which we've begun already, and we're moving forward with the construction phase, in particular with the road rehabilitation projects. This is all the design phase, which we've completed for the most part, or will complete here over the next couple of weeks, and bid out this project or these projects. So the upcoming fiscal year, we will have the construction phases of many of these road rehabilitations, most of which are grant funded, and most of which will be completed in the fall. On the enterprise funds, which are water, sewer, and public transportation, here's a recap of our carryover projects, again, many of which we've begun in the current fiscal year, but have not completed. We anticipate completing the upcoming fiscal year. We're requesting rolling those over. And then we have the 25-26 Enterprise Fund capital projects. For the sewer system, $260,000. Water system, $8.3 million, most of which relates to the Browning Road well replacement, which is entirely grant funded by the state. And then on the public transportation side, $71,000. Recap of staffing. Some of our vacant positions at the moment: animal control supervisor, police office tech, 3 officers, building inspector, wastewater operators, water supervisors, transit driver, street maintenance, and street sweepers. Some of these positions we have already made offers, and the individuals are in backgrounds. So kind of to Ms. McEwen's report, I believe her report was strictly those positions which we haven't made an offer or officially kind of filled. So this is the status of individuals that basically are not in their positions at the moment. Then the new staffing requests on the police side, we have 2 police office techs, which are currently authorized at a part-time level, compacting those into a full-time police office tech. A cold case investigator, part-time, which will be a part-time position, going back to the mayor's point of trying to solve some of these unsolved homicides, which currently we've inherited 26. We're hoping this position would help us bring closure to those families. And then an administrative assistant promotional position. Then 1 proposed staffing reclassification, which is our communication and records supervisor, moving that from a range 30 to 38, which would be in line with all of our other supervisor positions. Okay. With that, I'm open to any questions.
Thank you, Diego. I'm going to open it up to the public. Anybody have questions, concerns regarding our responsible fiscal budget? Seeing none. Council, do we have any questions, concerns from anyone in the council? No? Mr. Gutierrez?
No questions. Just, I know it's hard work balancing this big budget. Good job.
Councilmember Perez?
Thank you, Diego.
Vice Mayor Cano?
Agree with Mayor. Very responsible budget. Very well put together, and it's going to be a great year.
Just to communicate with the community, we've had several workshops regarding this budget. We've probably had about 8 to 20 hours of going over, and for positions, appropriations, we're just not rubber stamping budgets. And with that, do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Vice Mayor Cano, second by Councilmember Gonzalez. Madam Clerk, may I have roll call, please?
Mayor Yon.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Cano.
Aye.
Councilmember Gonzalez.
Aye.
Councilmember Perez.
Aye.
Councilmember Gutierrez.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Moving on to item 22, approval of resolution 2025-76, a resolution of City Council of the City of McFarland approving and adopting the annual appropriations limit for the fiscal year 2025-26. We're missing the I on the limit, but that's okay.
We'll make sure to correct that, Mr.
Okay.
Mayor.
No worries. Anybody
You
have
have good
a public-
eyes. Honorable Mayor and Council, as part of the budget process, we are requesting Council's approval for this resolution establishing the city's appropriation limit for fiscal year 25-26 as required under the GAN Spending Limitation Initiative. This annual requirement ensures that tax revenue spending remains within voter-approved limits, adjusting each year based on population and cost of living factors. For fiscal year 25-26, the city's appropriations subject to limitation are approximately $4.6 million, which is significantly below, the calculated limit of $22.2 million. This demonstrates our continued fiscal responsibility and compliance with the state law. There is no fiscal impact from adopting this resolution, and staff recommends approval as part of the city's budget process.
Okay, I'm going to open up to the public. Anybody have questions, concerns regarding this adoption? Seeing none. Council, do we have any questions, concerns? Anyone?
I have none.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve Resolution 2025-26?
Motion?
A motion by Councilmember Perez, second by Councilmember Gutierrez. Madam Clerk, may I have a roll call, please?
Marion.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Cano.
Aye.
Councilor Gonzalez.
Aye.
Councilor Perez.
Aye.
Councilor Gutierrez.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Good. Outstanding work, Diego, and your staff and your team for getting this budget out. Thank you.
If I may, on that.
Yeah.
There is a 300-page budget book that could not have been done without the combined effort of all staff, really, starting from the finance and to the community development staff, Jordan Ione, our communications and marketing specialist, Brianna E. De Leon, our senior city planner, and Megan McEwen, our community development director. They all played a pivotal role in making this budget book what it is, kind of adding all the elements that really show what McFarland is and really represents the city in a positive manner. So I want to thank that group as well as obviously the finance group, Jonathan Arceo, the finance manager, and everyone there. So
Yeah, it was quite a reading. I kind of skipped some pages, I'll be honest. So, but anyways, thank you, Diego. Good job on your team. Moving on to item 23, approval resolution 2025-67, a resolution of the City Council of the City of McFarland approving an agreement between the City of McFarland and Forward Global for federal legislative advocacy services. Mr. Villamontes.
okay, perfect. Okay, before we go to that brief presentation that we have, I'll just kind of set the stage for this item. So as we prepare to break ground on McFarland's new police department facility by the end of this calendar year, we're at a critical juncture. State funding for law enforcement projects is tightening due to ongoing budget deficits, making federal support more essential than ever. Tonight, we are seeking approval for this resolution to enter into an agreement with Forward Global, a firm with a strong track record in federal advocacy and strategic communication. Their work will be laser focused on closing our funding gap through targeted outreach in Washington, D.C., leveraging media, influential conservative policy groups, and direct engagement with federal lawmakers. With several grant applications already in the pipeline, this partnership ensures we're not leaving any opportunity on the table. So we do have a brief presentation on the status of our police department as well as the future police, a sneak peek of the future police facility.
Mr. Jaime, can you hear us?
Yes, can you guys hear us here or just sound?
Loud and clear, loud and clear. What time is it down there? Close to 11?
Okay, excellent. Is it possible to share your presentation on here?
Yeah.
From my computer, here we go. While we do that,
You just froze. Hey, you guys kind of look like each other.
I was like,
I didn't say that. I just repeated something that was said.
The other one? Oh,
Yeah. Just let them know that, Diego. Hold on.
we should be back on. Good evening, everyone. This is Jaime Figueres with Forward Global. I'd like to thank Mayor Aon, Vice Mayor Cano, the Members Rosales, Gutierrez, and Perez for giving us the opportunity to present to you all this evening, City of McFarland as well.
We want to, Jaime, yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear me? We're gonna show you a short. We're gonna show you a 2-minute video to see, so you could be a little bit more motivated after you see this video.
Excellent.
All right.
Hold on, let me share with my screen with them. I think I need a.
Hi there, my name is Frankie, and I'm a fourth grader who really loves living in McFarland. I know that the police officers in our city work really hard to keep us safe, and I think they are super awesome. But I want to share something with you. I think it would be so cool if our police officers had a really nice and modern.
Oh. I guess we're gonna have to email you it.
I think it's the video itself because it's playing fine.
Okay, there we go. We're gonna try it again.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Saul Ayon. I'm the mayor of the city of McFarland. This is the dispatcher's office. As soon as you walk into the door, you're going to run into your left, and this is where the lockers for evidence that shouldn't be there. It needs to be more in a secured area. Here's a little bit of the technical challenges we had when we started. All the wires were exposed. We didn't know what wires belonged to what, so if something went down, we were actually guessing. But once our chief of police, Kenny Williams, brought in a technician and corrected the matter, so now it looks like this. This is the current status of our dispatchers' working conditions. Very tight. You don't have your own space. Electrical wiring that should not be in there, but it should be secured. And then we go into the workstations of our sworn personnel, which is 26 in an area of 800 square feet. So, and here's some of the lockers. Obviously, these lockers are for officers' tools or whatever they need. Obviously, not enough, but we don't have space for them. And then here's a station where officers, they put evidence or they put contraband, and it does not need to be there because somebody might be walking by, they might drop it, or it needs to have its own area. Here's a working station for all the officers. They have to share the space, share the computers. Not very functional for a police department. There's actually 4 officers for 8 command staff, which is the chief, our lieutenant, and 4 sergeants. Our sergeants have to share an office. And here's the safes. They're actually inside the facility, but they should be all together in one where you have to maneuver to open one. And then here's our staff dining for all our personnel. You have a microwave and refrigerator. Obviously, nowhere to sit and eat besides our working stations. So we're very limited with space. Here's the locker rooms for. There's 6 lockers. This is the locker room for 26 sworn and unsworn personnel. Obviously, we don't have the space or the locker room for everybody, so the officers have to make do. We're exiting the facility. Our facility consists of so many parking. Our police department has to share with our city workers, and that's not obviously not enough where they have to double park or there's not enough spaces. Then we have our shed where it contains prior to this illustration coming in, you open up the shed and then you see something like this, and this is completely out of compliance. We had actually outsourced to a technician out of Cal State that came in and organized all the evidence and organized it the way it should be placed. But now we have now the way we're accountable, we have a crime scene technician that basically takes care of all the evidence and makes sure that's organized and categorized the way it should be. This aerial shot that you're looking at now is going to be the new location of our new police headquarters, potentially also an emergency center and a police activities thing in the future. Thanks to the partnership with Geo Corporation, they partnered a hell of a deal where they sold it to us for $1. The funding is a crucial need. It's not a one. 17 acres is a good amount for our community. It's going to save our taxpayers a lot of money.
Sharing that, Mayor. Yeah, of course, obviously, once you and I spoke initially about this entire proposal, we wanted to come on board immediately and figure out how we could help you guys secure some federal funds to build a real facility for your law enforcement officers. I don't think any city in the U.S. should go without proper facility for the law enforcement officers in their city. So I think it's one of those things where it makes incredible sense for us to partner with you guys. And the one thing that I have to point out is, once you're out in California, unless you're getting, a really, really good support from the state that you're in, DC is just such a far away place. So I think it makes a lot of sense for a lot of the smaller cities in the country, including McFarland, to go out there and engage individuals like myself and companies like Forward Global to ensure that you have a good partner in DC advocating for the needs of the city and its citizens. If you guys will allow me, I'm going to open a quick PowerPoint presentation. We'll go over just very briefly over what Forward Global does and who we are. In the interest of keeping everyone's kind of time here, I'll try to get through it as quickly as possible. Share my screen here. Forward Global is a modern reputation and risk management company. What that means is when we're working with our clients, usually a lot of the folks that engage us, not in the U.S. but overseas, are individuals that are facing challenges, whether it's with a local municipality or government or a foreign one that prevents them from doing the business and getting the outcome that they're looking for. The company was founded in Paris, has a footprint, very large footprint in Europe and in parts of Africa, and then we have a very big shop in DC, which has about 60 employees. I myself, Jaime Figueres, works out of the Miami office, and I handle a lot of our Florida and East Coast work for the firm, as well as Latin America and DC for our clients. We're in 9 cities worldwide. In total, our workforce is over 400 at this point, and we've done work in over 75 countries over the last 10 or 15 years. The folks that work at our firm come from all walks of life. Many of us in the U.S. are former political operatives, which means that we've worked on political campaigns from the municipal level all the way to the presidential level, myself included. We have a full bipartisan staff here in the States, which means that no matter who is in office, in the sense that, whether the White House is Republican or Democrat, or whether Congress, the power has shifted from Republican to Democrat or vice versa, we have an opportunity to go in there and advocate successfully for our clients because many of us have worked for many of the members who are currently in office and who will be in office. So we hire very strategically to ensure that our clients will always have the opportunity to get in the door and actually talk to the individual that they want to talk to. Our portfolio of work is very broad, and I think that's part of because many of our clients have very unique situations that they have to deal with. So we've been able to bring on whether it's individuals that have specific expertise in things other than political operations and lobbying. And so we've been able to diversify out what we can do. And then obviously, because many of us have a campaign background, everything that we do is very strategic. We don't take a shotgun approach like many modern lobbying groups do. Everything that we do has a purpose. And before we go and execute going to be a plan that gets put together between our team and our clients to ensure that we get the outcome that is the most desired. You can see we've dealt with many clients. This is just a snapshot of the folks that we've done work for in the last 3 months. But our clients include individuals, organizations, publicly traded companies, and then political campaigns. A lot of what we deal with sometimes is not strictly limited to lobbying. So we have to go out there and make sure that we get creative in ensuring that we put together a plan that addresses all the very unique needs that might pop up for a client. Things such as brand and reputational crisis management, dealing with regulatory changes, dealing with litigation, whether it's commercial or personal. We do a lot of due diligence for M&A and acquisitions so that companies can look before they leap. And then we also address and assess potential shifts in markets, specifically in the geopolitical spectrum. So definitely gives us a little bit of insight as to what's going on, not just in DC, but certainly abroad in many of the capitals throughout the world. Just to give you a quick insight into some of the basic work that we do for folks in the U.S., obviously a lot of government affairs, which is why we're in D.C., but the big part of the government affairs work, which is not something that a lot of folks can put together just because they don't do it in-house, is that strategic communications aspect of it, right? We want to ensure that by the time we go to speak to a legislator on behalf of McFarland USA, right, to ensure that we get the money that we need for your law enforcement facility, that story is already one that the legislative targets that we have in DC and on the Hill, that they're already aware of, that specific situation and how it affects not just you guys, but then also, California in general, right? We want to make sure that you guys are on the positive side of the narrative and that the folks that we see on the Hill on your behalf understand that, that it's an imperative need that they help us secure the outcome that we are looking for on your behalf. Now, additionally, the one thing that we certainly do with many of our clients is we encourage them to go with us to the Hill so that the individuals that we're going to make the ask of also put a face to the name, a face to the issue, that they understand that it's very real people, that, these things, whether or not they take action, that these things have consequences, right? So we always want to make sure that we take our folks to the Hill after we've laid that groundwork to ensure that, once the ask is made, that we get the outcome that we need for our clients. A lot of what we do on the front end of that will be strategic communications, again, to ensure that the positive narrative around the specific issue that we're trying to advocate for, that those folks are aware of it. And that will include things like drafting an opinion piece that my team and myself will get placed on a local or national news outlet that we can use as a launch pad for a conversation with that specific target. And ideally what that would look like is, we would draft an op-ed by a relevant voice in McFarland that we would get published at a national or a statewide outlet, and then share that organically through grassroots and grasstops leaders with the target members of Congress that we're going to go and make these asks of. A lot of that stuff ends up being like a third or fourth party validation that the information that they are consuming is something that feels like it's right and organic, and it actually ends up helping us sell that message and that issue infinitely better, because by the time we get to their office, they're already aware of what the specific ask is and the positive or negative effects of doing or not doing what we're asking for. Now, ultimately, obviously, we're all on this call to ensure that we get the funding for this law enforcement facility. So the biggest chunk of our business here in the U.S. is government and public affairs. Like I said, we have a massive shop here in D.C. For context, abroad, and specifically in Europe, our work here in the U.S. is by far our main line of work. And again, a lot of that is just by virtue of the fact that many of us come from political campaigns. So we're already connected to a lot of the folks on the Hill and in the White House, depending on what year it is. Just for context, the reason that part of the reason that we have so many of these connections in media is because again of our political background for many of us here, and it's actually something that's incredibly useful because in many cases, when folks write op-eds or try to get some of this content placed, they don't have the relationships to be able to do so, which prevents them from being able to create that narrative and lay that groundwork on the front end of that conversation. Fortunately for us and for you all, myself and my team have a lot of these connections in media and whether it's paper, cable, and digital or otherwise. So it's definitely something that we can leverage on your behalf to ensure that by the time we get to the Hill, these folks are fully aware of what the ask is going to be and on behalf of who it is. And then obviously just for background for you all, we have a couple of folks in our team that are content creators. So if we absolutely ever needed to create, original content, whether it's, a short documentary like the one that you guys just shared, that's definitely something that we can help with. Because I think, again, any opportunity that we have to create specific content for a client that we can share with a target that helps us spread that message, we try to do that as often as possible. And we can do it right now, so we look forward to doing so. So this is my personal contact information, Mayor. I shared as well the PDF version of this very brief slide deck with our friend Erica de la Cruz with your team. But otherwise, I think that's all I've got on this end for now. Does anyone have any questions?
Yeah, I'm going to open up to the public, and then I'm going to come back to the council. Anybody from the public have any questions, concerns regarding this item? Seeing none, I'm going to bring it back to the council. Councilmember Gutierrez?
I have no questions.
Councilmember Gonzalez?
I just think this is a really good idea. I mean, we can take all the help that we can get to be able to accomplish what we need here in McFarland. So I'm really happy about this. Thank you.
I don't know if he could hear you. Just act like you were yelling at me and just. No, go ahead.
I said I think this is a really good idea. I like the fact that we get some help out there, and this is something that we've been waiting for a very long time. So anything helps us to get there is great.
Ms. Councilmember Perez?
Just thank you for the presentation, and it was very informative. Thank you.
Vice Mayor Cano?
No comments.
No, obviously, Jaime, you've seen our lack of police infrastructure, not ever having a police department. I mean, having a police department, but not a proper police facility, I should say, because a lot of our unsolved crime has been due to the lack of infrastructure. So, I don't know if you can hear me or if I'm breaking up.
I can hear you guys loud and clear.
Okay.
A little bit.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Can you hear me now? Yes. Thumbs up? Yeah. All right, cool. No, it's just, you seen our video. That's just a little short film, but it's definitely not a want. It's a need. And we definitely need that voice, especially federal funding for underserved and a rural community that we actually need and we want to bring not only that police department, but also bring an emergency center in case we ever have a natural disaster, something for our senior citizens, for our kids, a police activities league. We have the infrastructure, we have the land, and through good negotiations, we're able to get that land, and that's a lot of time. That's the biggest problem. We just need that final push to get us over the hill. So, But with that, thank you for the presentation. I'm going to ask the council, do we have a motion to approve this resolution? Or hold on for a second, Mr. Viramontes, do you have any questions, concerns? Okay, thank you. Do I have a motion to approve this resolution?
Motion.
Mo-
Second.
Motion by Vice Mayor Cano, second by Councilmember Gonzalez. Madam Clerk, I have a first and a second.
Mayor Yon,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Cano,
Aye.
Councilor Gonzalez,
Aye.
Councilor Perez,
Aye.
Councilor Gutierrez.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Jaime, just like McFarland USA, we expect results. 2 thumbs up. Yes, sir. All right. Thank you. Have a good evening. Or good night. Okay, moving on to approval of resolution number 2025-77, a resolution of City Council, City of McFarland, approving the request by Waste Management for a service rate increase of 2.55 and acknowledging that the gate fee increase of 3.22 approved by Kern County. Mr. Viramontes.
All right. We're almost there. Okay, so tonight we're requesting approval of this resolution, which includes 2.55% service rate adjustment for Waste Management, who is our contracted hauler for residential, commercial, and industrial waste services, along with acknowledgement of the 3.22% gate fee increase adopted by Kern County for non-residential customers. These adjustments are routine CPI-based increases built into our franchise agreement and rate study assumptions. And most importantly for everyone, they will not impact customer rates. This ensures the city can continue to meet its obligations under the contract while maintaining high service levels without passing new costs on to residents. Staff recommends approval to keep our waste management operations stable, predictable, and in line with regional requirements. And with that, I'm requesting approval. We do have Representative Liz Gomez from Waste Management. If there are any questions from council or the public on this.
I'm going to open up to the public. Is there any questions, concerns regarding this this resolution? Seeing none. Is there any questions, concerns from our council? We'll start with Councilmember Gonzalez.
I don't have anything.
Councilmember Gutierrez.
No questions, comments.
Councilmember Perez.
None, thank you.
Vice Mayor Cano.
No question.
No questions from me. Just Liz, nice seeing you. 3rd of July, which should be a great event. Yes. But with that, do I have a motion to approve this resolution?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Vice Mayor Cano, second by Councilmember Perez. Madam Clerk, may I have a roll call, please?
Mayor Yon,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Cano,
Aye.
Councilor Gonzalez,
Aye.
Councilor Perez,
Aye.
Councilor Gutierrez.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Now moving on to public comment. Members of the public wishing to address the council about any item not on the agenda may do so at this time. Speakers are limited to 2 minutes for each person. 15 minutes total will be allowed for any one subject. Please state your name and address for the record prior to making a presentation. Madam Clerk, do we have anybody for public comment?
Yes. Victor Opresa.
Okay. You're good. You're good.
No comment.
No comment. Okay.
There are no further comments.
Okay. Perfect. Is there anyone else from the public that would like to make a comment that didn't get here on time to sign up? Okay. Seeing none, I'm going to close public comment. We have no council comments to answer for public comment. Now, reports from City Council on committee and special district meetings. We'll start with our Public Policy and Finance Committee. Ms. Gonzalez.
Yes, we had a brief meeting today. Just a little highlight on our broken meter list. We continue to have broken meters, but at the current time, we just have like 59. So it's something that we're working on to get caught up and have accurate readings for everyone. That's it.
Thank you, Ms. Gonzalez. And now for Public Safety Committee, Councilmember Gutierrez.
Well, today in our committee, we discussed, or Chief Knox reported the great work that was done at the Cinco de Mayo Festival, because I know there was a lot of security concerns, and I'm happy to say that there was no big impact or significant incidents at that festival. We had a successful DUI checkpoint on Mass, but other than that, I believe the police is doing a great job. Also, our public works, we discussed various things like the next projects that are due. I know that the residents want to see that come to light, and also discussing several things en masse. But other than that, that's what we discussed. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gutierrez, and I just want to add, so the residents know, as far as the statistics with police, it's public record about how they're making contacts, how many felonies, misdemeanors, how many traffic citations have been given out, and it's just for the community to know that our roads are very expensive. When you bring big rigs and you're parking the opposite side, these are a quarter of a street or a mile, it costs over $1 million. Those semis fully loaded are over, 2 tons, and they impact our streets. So if you're parking the wrong way or parking illegally, you're probably going to get cited. On top of that, just to how Mr. Councilmember Gutierrez reported, there's about 10 streets plus the overpasses, and Kern is going to be done by, I want to say November 23rd if they speed up, but there's going to be about 11 streets redone plus the overpasses, and that's a big contribution to our staff doing the proposals, our elected officials seeing what the needs that we needed here, and just our council pushing forward to getting these grants. And it's a grant with the no match, so the city doesn't have the taxpayers. But anyways, just wanted to add to that. Other than that, we're moving on to the Quality of Life Committee. Vice Mayor Cano.
Quality of Life Committee, we discussed the animal control code enforcement. One of the discussions was the marketing outreach. We've done 2, one in the month of April, which was at the Grape Festival. The other one was at the May 8th, the first annual Donut with the Dog. Decided that you don't get a donut until you adopt a dog, by the way. I think it's important that we continue that marketing. We have multiple dogs in our facilities that need a loving home. I have 3 already, so I cannot adopt anymore. We also discussed the Munoz Park. Munoz Park is a project that is planning. As of now, we are working on getting a grant, or Megan is working on it, to get some sort of play structure put out in the Munoz Park, which is now just basically a sump. Lighting, of course, is also in the process. Hopefully, we can get that done as soon as we get the funding. They're working very hard out there. We've also discussed the McFarland Freedom Fest, an event that will be held on July 3rd. Multiple discussions. I know they will be posting this information out on our website and social media. But the event will actually be held at the McFarland High School, thanks to the school board and Mr. Resendez, and of course our mayor, who worked really hard making sure we got that completed. The school board, thank you for that. This event will be behind a fenced area, and we will have it'll be an event where we'll be selling. We'll have food vendors, family dinner, hot dog sales, and it's going to be a great event. It's going to be held July 3rd. I believe it starts at 7 o'clock. All the information will be in our website, social media here in a couple of days. Thank you.
Okay, moving on to council statements and reports on their own initiative. Council members may make a brief announcement on or a brief report on their own activities. In addition, council members may ask a question of staff or the public for clarification on any matter, provide a reference to staff or other resources for information. Alternatively, request staff to report to the city council at a later meeting concerning any matter. Furthermore, the city council or any member thereof may take action to direct staff to place a matter of business on a future agenda. And I will start with Ms. Gonzalez.
Oh, sorry. Thank you, everybody, for coming to tonight's meeting. Your presence here really means a lot to us, and the fact that it just shows that you guys are involved. So appreciate you guys coming.
Thank you, Ms. Gonzalez. Councilmember Gutierrez.
Well, yeah. Thanks everybody who came here. Obviously, today was a packed house, and I know we got a lot of things done today, like promoting our corporal and acknowledging the Boys and Girls Club that I said I have people. My kids are in there, and also I'm actually proud to crown the first Miss McFarland. I didn't think we would ever do that, and also just thanks to all the you guys department heads that are here, and to our police chief. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Gutierrez. Councilmember Perez?
Likewise, thank you. Congratulations to Corporal Ubaldo Weiss. And yes, the Boys and Girls Club is very important here in our community. It does give us our parents safety for their kids. The Royal Rangers, I think that maybe we need to start a program here for that, because being in education, I know that our Latino boys, and I'm just going to say because we are in a predominantly Latino community, they are being left behind. We need to do things that are good for our boys. Our girls, we don't worry most of the time, but for our boys, especially in education, we need to focus on them. And I've known this for a long time. Just being in education, like I said, in the AVID program, they did a presentation as to why programs like this are needed for our boys. And the survey, thank you. We do need a lot here in McFarland, but we are pushing forward and looking for those grants. And thank you to all the directors for doing so. And I'm looking forward for the 3rd of July. Thank you.
Vice Mayor Cano?
A lot was done today, but congratulations on, of course, our Corporal Ubaldo Wise. Of course, for the presentations done today, our recognitions done to all the Boys and Girls Club, the Delano Royal Rangers, and the McFarland, Mrs. McFarland Queen. The survey, of course. Thank you to all the staff for the staff reports. Great job, everyone. I said it, I think, at some point. I think McFarland is an innovating city. We're always starting something new, doing something different. And I think it's good for our city. It's good for our residents. Mr. Ayon said it. Small businesses are the key of the success of this country and, of course, of this city. So I think it's important that we continue that support. Thank you, staff, Diego, finance, for that presentation on the budget. Sorry, my mind just went blank for a second. And of course, thank you, Chief, for keeping our city safe and always going. I know we're starting to hear those fireworks out. I've been hearing for about a month. Some of us have a lot of money. They're blowing those fireworks like crazy. But I know we're working on it. We've got drones out there. So if you hear them, give the department a call so they can see where they're coming from. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to give just about 1 minute or 2 minutes of my time to I want to tell, our residents know that Rite Aid will be closing next month. We have a new pharmacy. It's McFarland Pharmacy, and we have their pharmacist here. He was supposed to talk during public comment, but I'll let you have a minute of time to come up and discuss. He doesn't know how meetings are run, but that's okay. I'm going to give him about a minute of my time.
Thank you, everyone, for having me here. Thank you, Mayor, for inviting me today. I just want to thank first Megan and Stephanie from the city for helping me coordinate the opening grand ceremony, which was a big success. I also met with the police chief last week at the bicycle rodeo, just trying to help the underserved community here in McFarland. So count us in for every year. We'll be there. And any events you have in the future, we'll be there as well. But yeah, we're the new pharmacy in McFarland, and our motto is we offer free delivery. We're here for every patient. So if you need anything, just come say hi, and I'll be happy to serve you all. So thank you.
PJ, can you give us your days that you're open and your hours and stuff like that?
Yeah, so we're open Monday through Friday from 9 to 6 right now. But I'm sure when Rite Aid closes, we'll be open until later, possibly till 8 p.m. And then Saturdays will be open from 9 to 5. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, PJ, for coming.
Yeah,
Welcome to McFarland.
Yes. I just want to give us some update regarding a state bill that affects McFarland. For a long time, everybody that's lived here for a long time has discussed or talked about Pozo Creek or not being addressed, the flooding and stuff like that, through State Bill 556. that got passed through the Senate. Now it's headed to the Assembly to get passed. It's a $20 million grant that will fix the flooding, will fix the infrastructure at Pozo Creek, so it doesn't affect the city of McFarland when there's heavy rain or there's a snowpack and there's a lot of the temperature increases, and when we have a big flow of water coming through. This has been going on since the 90s. I mean, I don't know if it's anything before that, but it's never been addressed. And now the time where the state is actually seeing the concerns, because it not only affects the city of McFarland, it affects Pond, it affects other rural communities. And obviously we have a good amount of cows out there that the water runs through that, and it runs through our neighborhoods, our schools, our streets, and let's not forget our beloved animals as well. So it's a thing that needs to be addressed as far as fixing the infrastructure at Pozo Creek. But hopefully we don't have no pushback from the Assembly, and it gets passed, so that could get addressed for our kids and our future. And I think we're almost there at the finish line. I don't want to jinx it, but that's just one of the bills that's very important to our community. I want to finish off. Before I close, I want to thank the Parks and Recs board members. I met with several of them. Ms. Gonzalez met with them as well, our city manager, and trying to make them a partner and making our city a better place to live, not only for us, but our kids, our residents, everyone in between. For too long, our city has lacked vision, accountability, and a real plan for a prosperous future for our residents. But this is not the direction we're headed now. We have challenges, but we're meeting those with the hard work and leadership from our new team that we have in place. Some may not always like my approach, because I call it as it is. I try to be a little bit more compassionate and reasonable, but when things aren't getting addressed in a timely manner, we don't got that much time to fix them. So, or in this position. So it's just about calling balls and strikes sometimes, and some people might not like it, but they can't argue against results, and they can't argue about where the city's going. And it's just not me. It's this council. It's this team that we have put together for the last 4 or 5 years. But I want to finish off with thanking our dedicated city staff. I know we're throwing a lot at you, absorbing some things, but I think if we didn't throw these things at you, it's a lot during the summer, but if we don't, when's the starting point? We got to take care of our residents. They're our priority. And I think with the department heads and staff and everybody coming together, we're not perfect, but we're actually improving dramatically. So we're building a momentum to see this city go forward, and it's getting there. We're still going to get complaints. That's just life. But anyways, I just want to thank everybody, police department, all the staff, everybody for attending today. It's been a long meeting. We usually are about 45 minutes to an hour, but I want to thank everybody. It's summer. It's hot. Stay hydrated. Everybody, please stay safe. And if you see something being done in the community, if you see somebody, not even just any resident, if you see police officers, if you see fire department speeding and this and that, don't hesitate to call. I mean, nobody's perfect. We're trying to make sure that things don't happen here, but at the end of the day, we're just trying to do what's best for our community. But with that, I have nothing else to report. Everybody have a good night. Thank you for coming. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second.
First by Vice Mayor Cano, second by Councilmember Perez. Madam Clerk, may I roll call to adjourn the meeting?
Mayor Yon.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Cano.
Aye.
Councilor Gonzalez.
Aye.
Councilor Perez.
Aye.
Councilor Gutierrez.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Meeting adjourned.
So